Now, I for one am very excited about this addition to Games with Gold this month. Metal Gear Solid 5 is the stealthy action-adventure that's plot is so convoluted that I'd need at least an hour to explain the bare bones of it. However, to put it simply, you'll be playing the role of Venom Snake as you venture into Afghanistan and the Angola border in an effort to track down those who destroyed your base 9 years earlier. You'll be joined by familiar faces such as Ocelot, meet new snipers with interesting clothing choices, and delve deeper into a plot driven by the government that I'm still not sure I've quite got my head around. The latest addition to the incredible Metal Gear Solid saga sees a total change in what we've come to expect with Metal Gear. Gone is David Hayter, the voice of Snake, and instead is Kiefer Sutherland, aka the man who has to do everything in 24 hours or the world explodes. I actually haven't seen the show. But with a new voice comes a new Snake. Gone are the long rambly story cutscenes. Instead, you'll find short story bursts with minimal input from the man himself. There's a total overhaul in the gameplay style too. Much like Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, you're put into an open world and left up to your own devices. Early fans of Metal Gear will remember tight corridors and linear progression, whereas Metal Gear Solid 5 is all about facing problems in the best way you see fit. Do you go in at night time when the guards are likely to be less alert or sleeping? Or do you find a way in during the day with improved visibility, yet risk the chance of getting a bullet to the head? The open world environment is littered with outposts and areas to explore, meaning you can take your time focusing on side missions if you don't want to storm ahead with the main story. There's also some pretty detailed base building that you can get involved in, from collecting resources to expand to capturing soldiers to add to your army. Plus, let's not forget the most important inclusion, which is a very good boy in the form of D-Dog. You find D-Dog whilst out on a mission, and he eventually grows into a loving companion who will help you out on the battlefield, plus look incredibly cute as he does it. There's other help out there too, in the form of your trusty horse, who will, let's just say, use the toilet to help with your valiant efforts. Whilst there are certainly changes to the usual Metal Gear style, there's still a whole lot of Metal Gear charm, from a surprise birthday party held for you on your actual birthday, to some interesting cardboard box designs. There's still plenty of Easter eggs to discover. Whether you're new to the series or a die-hard fan, this is a game that shouldn't be missed, so make sure you check it out this May with Games with Gold. As if having some Mega Baseball wasn't enough, how about making it Super and doing it twice? Well, it's your lucky day as Super Mega Baseball 2 is coming to this month's Games with Gold, and it's on its release date. Gone are the bobbleheads of Super Mega Baseball, with more emphasis being put on realism this time around. It's not all aesthetics though, with reach, speed and arm strength being calibrated so the plays unfold at a more realistic pace. So unlike the first offering, it'll be trickier to pull off outrageous catches which see you leaping 60 feet into the air. This time around, it's all about careful planning and management to make sure you come out on top. The throwing system has been given an overhaul too, with the inclusion of throwing errors. For example, focusing on strength and speed will run a higher risk of getting an error, whereas a slow and steady aim will risk a perfect hit by the opposite team. It's a tricky balancing act that could see you chucking your ball over the head of your catcher and into the face of a spectator. Ouch. The best way to really get ahead will be mastering your mojo. And no, that's not just a weird way of saying be funky and cool, but actually a way for your player to play above their ability level, otherwise known as mojo. Watching your hitter blast out home run after home run is super satisfying. With added footwork, defensive shifts and mid-game saving, this promises to be a far improved experience which you can download for free with Games with Gold. If you're looking for a fast-paced, innovative shooter, then Vanquish might just be the game for you. Vanquish tells the story of a terrifying, not-so-distant future. Earth's population has grown so rapidly that the nations fight for any scarce remaining resources, whilst the USA tries to alleviate the energy problems by launching the space station Providence. Everything goes a bit wrong though when a section of the Russian military decide they want the space station and use it to destroy San Francisco. Next on their to-do list is New York, but not to worry, that's where you come in. You'll be playing the role of Sam Gideon, a soldier equipped with an augmented reaction suit, which basically means you're a super cool badass. The suit, amongst other things, has jet boosters attached to his body, will slow down time for Sam to evade attacks if he takes too much damage, as well as being able to store up to 8 weapons. Slightly more impressive than your average 3-piece. It's up to you to put everything right in the world, but it's never that simple, is it? Expect a lot to go wrong and many traitors to show their true colors along the way. The game got a lot of praise when it first came to the Xbox 360, mainly due to the fact it was such an innovative addition to the 3D shooter genre. It combined fast-paced gameplay reminiscent of 2D bullet hell shooters with beat-em-up elements, with Sam's suit bringing a lot of cool gameplay features too. There's stealthy elements such as distracting guards with cigarettes and a cover system that doesn't mess around. Gunfire can come from all angles and cover is destructible, forcing you to always stay on the move. Your score is also penalized for hiding behind cover for too long, so this is no time to run and hide and hope for the best. It's super fast-paced action that doesn't pull any punches and forces you to slide in and out of cover like a pro. So if you feel like saving the earth and looking pretty damn cool whilst you do it, then check out Vanquish this May. Now it's time for a real blast from the past, as Streets of Rage takes us back to the 90s. Sega Vintage Collection Streets of Rage features all 3 games from the Streets of Rage series, the classic beat-em-up games that defined a genre. You'll be joining Axel, Blaze, and Adam Hunter as they battle the evil Mr. X across 3 games. Mr. X is a mysterious character whose crime syndicate is shut down in the first game following a fight with our 3 young police officers. In the second installment, Mr. X kidnaps Adam, forcing Alex and Blaze to fight him once again. Joined by Adam's kid brother and a friend of Axel's, the team hunt down the syndicate once more. The third game, Streets of Rage 3, centers around a research organization known as the Robo-Kai Corporation. Once again run by the cheeky and dastardly Mr. X, Mr. X recruits Dr. Dan, a scientist, to create an army of robots for him. You see, he intends to replace the world leaders with robots, and I don't know, because that doesn't necessarily sound like the worst thing ever. However, when Dr. Zan Gilbert alerts Blaze to the plan, the team reassemble to take down Mr. X yet again. This is a classic beat-em-up at its purest. Side-scrolling action which is punishing with its difficulty is classic gaming at its best, and you can't beat the satisfaction you get when you complete a particularly hard section. Whilst this may have originally hit our consoles 20 years ago, this refresh for the Xbox Live saw new achievements, challenging new game trials, and the option of cleaning up the streets with a friend in 2-player local and online co-op. The time trials will really test your gaming skills, as you're challenged with completing tricky tasks in punishing times. If you pull off an awesome attack that needs sharing, then the replay mode lets you share with friends. Come on, bragging is fun. But for those who played it the first time round, this is a great visit down memory lane, and for those new to the series, it's time to get some education in classic gaming history. Everyone's a winner.